Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm the Gamer's Digester, and last night pre-orders went live. The Legion Go just hit Best Buy. If you want to get the 500 gigabyte or the 1 terabyte, they should both still be available. I'm not affiliated, you can just look it up online. Best Buy, Legion Lenovo Go. But yeah, let's kind of talk about the launch here. Is this something that you should be interested in pre-ordering? Some things that we should be looking out for, because already we've seen some concerns. Let's dive right into it. So first things first, one of the biggest things at the Legion Lenovo Go, probably saying that backwards, I've done it a million times, I can't fix it, I'm sorry you guys. The Go has, over something like the Ally or the Steam Deck, are those detachable controllers, right? It's something akin to the Nintendo Switch here, but one thing that it does different is it will have a mouse on the bottom. Now, I already can see a lot of issues with this. We've seen issues in some of the live streams from people who work at Lenovo. They've talked about this. I believe his name is Ben Myers. Let's think about this, right? It's Bluetooth when you disconnect it, and it's hardwired when you connect it. Those pins, when you connect it, actually tell the device, yes, this is now part of the device, which is fantastic. That'll help with latency. So I'm very happy that that is the case. However, it will be interesting to see, right? So I play a lot of Valorant, I play CSGO, I play Call of Duty. There's a lot of first-person shooter games that I play that don't use a controller necessarily, right? Like, you can use a controller on CSGO, but it's not necessarily the best way to do it. Valorant, however, I know a lot of you guys were interested in my Valorant video for the Ally, so I'll adjust this. Unless the joysticks are mapped as WASD, it will pretty much still be unusable, and you'll have to take a keyboard with you. And I hope that that makes sense, because if you disconnect these, right, you've got one over here, this is now your mouse, and then over here, now you can use maybe your trigger for a ability, or you can use, you know what I mean? You've got a few buttons here that you can map. If they're not bound to like a keyboard type layout, if that makes sense, to be used as keys, and so that the game doesn't think it's a controller, we're going to run into a lot of issues. Now, maybe they thought of that, or maybe really that'll be a big oversight, because I think it's interesting. A lot of the games they're advertising are, of course, Game Pass. There seems to be some sort of big deal with that. The Ally had a big deal with that as well. Hashtag not sponsored. I love Xbox Game Pass. Fantastic subscription. But yeah, Xbox is going to be reading this as a controller, and there's a lot of controller/mouse games supported. In some of their advertisements, they've showed off Halo Infinite. Yeah, you can use both on there. Some different games, not necessarily. Escape from Tarkov is another game that I play. Kind of hate myself for liking it, but I don't know how these will work doing a split controller/mouse. I think there might be some interference there. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on that, if I'm crazy or not, but I just want to get that out there so I can say told you so if we have issues. Again, fingers crossed, I hope we don't, because hell, that would just suck for everybody. I don't know if they could patch that out, or what the case would be, or if they'd even listen. That's another thing. The Ally, they did listen to us, but nowhere near the way that the Valve has listened with getting updates out for the Steam Deck. Like, nowhere even close. I can imagine Asus dropping support for this in like 2 years or something, whereas the Steam Deck, I could see 4 years, 5 years, where they're constantly getting updates for that device. I've been seeing a lot of people saying we still don't even have proper drivers for this yet, which will totally help the performance. I mean, guys, we're like 4 months into the release. Where are those? You know what I mean? So it all is just a company basis on how spread thin their departments are. If they have like an entire team dedicated to the Lenovo, keeping this thing up, I can call it the Lenovo, I guess. Keeping it up to date, keeping things as they should be, and constantly providing it seems like they're advertising quite a bit. I've seen a lot of ads online. My friends have gotten ads for it. They've sent me. So it seems like they are paying for advertising, and there's a lot of YouTubers, Austin Evans, there's a lot of guys who've had this. hopefully they're putting their money where their mouth is, and they're going to keep this device around for a long time, because these are investments. In my opinion, you would want this to be an investment, really. Something that won't lose value. These won't gain value necessarily unless some sort of COVID 15,000 happens and everyone wants their hands on one. But at least for right now, they shouldn't be losing value. Unless you're spilling soda and shoving iPhone jacks in the top, they shouldn't be losing value, okay? So I would hope that they support that device in the next coming years and we get a better product out of it. Now, two things, these aren't necessarily confirmed because they were preview units: speakers and the finish on the controllers. So I've seen two different variants. I've seen, as far as the finish, because I want to talk about that first, the finish on the controllers, if you've seen videos online, there is one version of preview units that is this glossy, disgusting finish. I don't even know how to explain this to you guys unless you've seen it. It is bad, like bad. I don't know if they were saving money with those preview units and just printing them with whatever they had. Oh my gosh, it was gross. And it was scratching just from people holding it. So I'm going to say now that that's not going to show up on our front doors on the 31st. What I think it's going to be is the other ones. Now watch Austin Evans' video. It's more of a matte black, almost tint of green, right? Which is gorgeous. If that is the final product, that is what we're going to want. I just wanted to get that out of the way. If you guys have seen those videos online of the preview units, because that's pretty much all there is right now, half of them will be that gloss, which is absolutely filthy. I would hate to see that. I don't even think I would take mine out of the house if that were one that I got. I would wait until D-Brand made some skins for it. I literally would not do anything with it because we've seen here, I'll show you, the D-pad on this, if you can see that, that plastic scratches so easily. I knew it would too. The triggers as well. It's like, why would you choose a gloss finish on something that we are going to have our grubby little man fingers on? I mean, a lot of you guys have big calluses and stuff that are sharp. It's like, who decided that? Like, it's totally a design choice. It's a $700 product. I mean, you could switch it out for something, no problem. It's not like the processor, I don't know. There's got to be profit here. So I don't understand why they keep choosing these gloss finishes. It just doesn't make sense to me. These are workhorses, not sports cars. The speaker situation, I know some of you guys may not care. The Steam Decks, if I had to rate their speakers, probably a 6 or 6.5. There's really not a good clear left or right. And I give it such a low score because I know what's possible. If you guys have an Asus Ally, dude, load up some Spotify, find some soft guitar, something like that. It's there in front of your face. I spent last night, I do this all the time. It sounds goofy. I've got nice JBL speakers, Bluetooth speakers, the big boom box. I've got tons of speakers, yet there is something about this. I think it's something to do with their Dolby Atmos support, something like that, but it's almost like there's a speaker here, some smaller ones up here. I don't know how they do it. Voices, everything. It just sounds like it's literally in the room. So as for right now, this is what I'm basing everything off. This is a perfect 10. There are issues with it that can't be fixed due to the size and the specs, like how the device is arranged. No, you're not going to have any passive radiators making bass. That's just not something they care about. I am just happy we got this quality of speakers in a device like this to begin with. This is a 10. I don't care if the bass is... Who is listening to bass heavy dubstep on this? I would love to see that guy comment. Now, as much as it pains me to say, the Switch has better speakers. Down here, they've got these ports. You may not have ever seen them before if you don't have a Switch. That's where the sound comes out. It sounds fantastic. I've been playing a lot of Pikmin recently, the new Pikmin game. It sounds fantastic. Admittedly, from Ben Myers himself, he works at Lenovo. I may be saying his name wrong. he did a live stream. He said there's a lot to be desired with the Lenovo Legion Go's speakers. Now, how do I feel about that? It's not a priority, right? Like if you think about these, if you've seen what they're trying to advertise this for, you're playing this on the bus, you're playing this in the library, like they took a lot of time to show that library scene. I thought that was really funny, but because the fans might be loud, but we'll see. It's got a lot bigger heatsink on the back there, but headphones tend to be what they're expecting you to use, so I can totally see speakers getting overlooked. I don't know if it's something that was in the preview unit that he had, if that was something that can be patched out with, maybe it's just some sort of balancing issue. Again, we just won't know until we see it. Unfortunately, you hate to see it that they would be worse, because as we move forward in the evolution of these devices, it is so good to see the competition push each other to make better, like greatness. It's just incredible. And there's no greater place to see that than these devices. An Xbox and a PS5, you only see every 5, 6, whatever, 6 years, I think is their lifespan before they create the new gen. That is a long time, you guys. By 3 years from now, the Series X will already be getting outdated in a way. And we could talk about that. That's just poor optimization of new games. But these come out, I mean, it's been what, 1 year, and we've already got the Ally, we've got different Ioneos and stuff, which are just too expensive. I can't afford those right now to be reviewing for you guys, and I'm not partnered with them or anything, so they won't send me any. But for right now, I am so happy with what we have seen improvement-wise, and I can't wait for next year. I think 2024 is going to be a big year for handheld gaming if this trend keeps up. But I know this has been a bit longer of a video. I know that we've kind of touched on a lot of different things for right now. And of course, there's going to be more content coming. So keep your questions rolling in. I don't have a device, of course, right? But we can always speculate. And that's the fun of it. That's why I like making YouTube, is I just like to talk. I'm not making accusations. I'm not trying to get anyone burned alive at the stake. We're just talking about handheld, and that's what we're here for. So if you guys appreciated the video, I would very much like a like, subscribe. I would love to see you guys kind of join the group here. My subscribers tend to be very passionate, just as I am, and I love to read your guys' comments and discussions. But with all that being said, have a fantastic Sunday, have a good weekend, and hopefully they're not sold out. So if you want to get your pre-order and you know that's something that you really want to get, go for it, man. Get the terabyte.